Hello everyone, welcome to Ucoder's channel. Today I will talk about Xcode and I'm going to show some features of Xcode development environment. First of all, I'm going to create an iOS project and I will show these features via this project. Let's start. The easiest way to get Xcode is through the Mac App Store. If you don't have the Mac App Store, you can also download it manually. After downloading the Xcode, you can open it directly. Let's create a project, file, new project. Okay, our Xcode is ready for development. Firstly, look at this diagram. As you see, there are four major areas: navigator areas, editor area, debug area, utility area. I will explain these major areas respectively. Okay, you can adjust the size of each of these panes by hovering your cursor. Alright, navigator area. In this pane, there are a bunch of different navigators. You can switch between using the navigator selected bar. In navigator area, we use a lot three navigators. These are project, search, and issue navigators. Project navigator, you will see all the files associated with your project from the project navigator. You can also create groups to organize your files. For example, you can right-click on the project navigator and create new files or add existing files to your project. When you create a group or class in the project navigator, Xcode creates a folder in the file system. Also, you can drag folders or files in project navigator like this. The root node of the project navigator is Xcode project file. You can see your project settings from here. If you click that, the project properties will be open in the editor area, like this. Field settings, info settings, capabilities, etc. Search navigator. With the search navigator tab, you can easily look for pieces of text in your project. For example, you can search any specific property, method or variable. Issue navigator. The issue navigator shows you all problems. When you build and compile your application to test, if there are some problems, Xcode can't build your app. It will halt, and it shows you the red colored errors in the issue navigator. It will show you in the editor area which file and line failed. It will also show warnings with yellow. Resolving warnings is not necessary for building your app. There may be potential issues. For example, the editor area. Probably we spend most of our time in this area. This is where all the coding happens. There, um, there are these little back and forward arrows in the upper left corner. These guys are actually pretty useful. You can navigate previous pages via these arrows. Previous, next, previous, next, like. These this button shows us recent files and superclasses, sidelines, protocols, and we navigate recent files from here, and you can see all functions and classes from here. And when we go app delegate, you can see classes, methods, functions from here. Let's look to other buttons. The editor area has three different views. You can toggle between these views with the set of these buttons in the upper right hand corner. First, the leftmost button is for the single editor pane view. It's good for the small laptop screen or if you don't have an external monitor. The middle button is Assistant Editor view, which will show you the accompanying file to the file you are currently looking at. It looks like a two-pane view. For example, if you are looking at the view controller Swift, the right pane will show you the linked class file for the view controller. Each pane also has independent jump bars. You can also use that to change what file each pane is displaying. The rightmost button is the version editor. You can compare code with old version. Okay. Interface builder view. We have been talking about editing code. However, Xcode has an interface builder. When you are viewing the storyboard or a zip file, the editor area will turn into a visual designer. We design our screens from storyboards or zip files. Okay. Jumping to definitions. If you are looking at some code and you see a class name that you want to jump the definition of, you can hold down command and click the class name to quickly jump to that file. The breakpoint getter. You can click the set breakpoints at certain lines of code. When you set a breakpoint, you will see a blue indicator appear. To turn off a breakpoint, you click the blue indicator again and it will dim out. If you want to completely remove the breakpoint, you can click and drag the blue indicator all off the breakpoint cutter. Let's see, set some breakpoints. If you want to uh, if you want to list of all the breakpoints, you can see breakpoint navigator all breakpoints, and you can remove all breakpoints like from here like this. That's how editor array is. Utility area. The Xcode utility area is mainly used for the inspector pane. Main, storyboard, identity inspector, attributes inspector, size inspector. These are commonly used inspectors. The inspector pane will give you details about the file you have got highlighted in your project navigator. However, when you are looking at the zip or storyboard file, the inspector pane will show you the different attributes that you can modify for a selected element. Okay, we can add a label. The library pane won't be very useful either until you are looking at zip or storyboard file. When you are using the interface builder part of Xcode, you can drag UI elements from the library pane onto the editor area to add that element to your user interface. If I am editing code files, I will usually hide the whole utility area to give my editor more space because I don't need the inspector pane or the library pane. Debug area. The debug area will show you console output and the state of various variables when you run your application. Okay.
Let's try.
We have talked about project navigator, debug area, editor area, and utility area, and some features of Xcode development environment. Thank you for watching.